What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. It's Thursday, November 3rd at 5:50 in the morning. We're about to hit shoulders, so it's a double scoop kind of day. And I've got a confession to make. I failed. And I know the phrase, you don't really fail until you stop trying, but end of the day, I still failed. I tripped up, I stumbled, but yes, we are continuing. What are we continuing? I don't know, but it is early, it's 6 o'clock right now. I gotta get this workout in because I have to get Gigi to school before 7:40 for her band picture. So I'm gonna hit shoulders, you're gonna watch me hit shoulders, and then I'll talk about why I failed, but why I didn't fail at the same time. Just course correcting, if you will.
The storm is coming, but I'm prepared. I'll be gone for a while, but don't be scared. Right now, I don't know if I'll ever arrive. Where the grass is green, we're still alive. I hope I'll see you on the other side. I know that I'll be paying for the ride into the black hole. Sing for my soul through the black hole to make myself whole again. You want the truth and you're having doubts, but if I tell you now, the sun dies out.
All right, confession time. How did I fail? Well, all right, so week one, you know I was in Nashville. Last week I was in Nashville for work, and everything was going good. I was kind of under eating, but I was still following my meal plan. I was really good at resisting desserts, any kind of alcohol for all the happy hours and dinners that we were having, so I was good. Until Thursday, which was day 4. We had work, we had our picnic. I avoided everything in the coming picnic. No desserts, no cheats, no nothing. I was feeling really good, active, all that good stuff. Then we went to a hockey game that night with our one of our vendors. They treated us to a Nashville Predators game. We were up in their suite. It was pretty awesome. But you get in the suite, and that's where dinner was because we literally went from work to change to the game. So I didn't have time to eat before I got there. What was for dinner? Well, mini hamburgers. Okay, fine. I can deal with hamburgers. You know, little ones on Hawaiian buns. I got that. Then there were chicken fingers. And when you were tired of hamburgers, chicken fingers were it. And I became an 8-year-old kid because I was so hungry and I didn't want any more burgers. So I had about half a dozen to 6 to 8 chicken fingers. Not too bad. I still could have fit that in my meal plan. That's not really where I kind of gave up for day 4. After the game, we wanted to show some of our co-workers Broadway in Nashville. All we wanted to do was walk up and down the strip, show them what Broadway was like, maybe let them listen to some live music, and then go home. It was already late as hell. One of our vendors heard that, and he was like, yo, I'll take you around. And as soon as he said that, I knew it was going to be a bad idea. Okay, because he was trying to show us Nashville, and we just wanted to be like, hey, so yeah, this is Broadway, and when you guys come back up, maybe we'll have more time, we can go hang out and do the thing then, but not after a hockey game, or not when some of us have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day to go to the airport. We get down to Broadway, and he starts taking us into these different bars. And first when we were there for about 10 minutes, just walked right out. It was too crowded. You know, we couldn't really get anything. The band had just finished, so no point in going there for live music. There was none. So we ended up at this other bar, the Honky Tonk something, I don't know. And the band was just starting to get ready to go on. And so we're in there. We're just kind of vibing, right? It's kind of like a mixture of music, you know, from AC/DC to like Luke Bryan. That's how they said it. You know, all these different groups to, you know, rock to country, rock to country, rock to country. So we're in there vibing, and I turn to my boy, and all of a sudden, you see the vendor just handing out beers. Now, he already paid for beers. So I'm like, I could be a dick and give it back and be like, yeah, man, I'm not drinking tonight, which I should have done. I could give it to somebody else and be like, nah, man, I'm not drinking tonight, which I could have done. Or I could drink the beer and be like, fuck it, I'll start over. And, well, based on the title of this video, I chose, fuck it, I'll start over. So I drank the first one. Went to the bathroom, came back, and I'm getting ready to, I thought we were getting ready to leave. And I turn to my boy again, and here comes the round 2. So we're like, oh my God, it's like 11:30. We gotta drink this other beer because we can't leave the bar with the beer. So I was like, you know what? I already screwed up. Dinner wasn't awesome. I already had one. Let's finish this one and go home and go back to bed. So day 4, I kind of caved. I caved my own personal morals, not morals, but my standards. I gave in, and I know I shouldn't have. But part of the rules is when you miss a day or you screw up or you do whatever, you start back over. Now, luckily, it was only day 4. Now, I had 2 options. I could have had the beers, said, whatever, nobody's here, nobody that I know is here. I'm just going to keep on rolling with this. Or I could hold myself accountable and admit to my group that, hey, you know what? I screwed up. I'm back on day 1. And I want you guys to hold yourself to the same accountability standards as I'm holding myself. And that's what I did. I chose to be accountable for what I did. I've admitted it on my social media, not for anybody, not for like people to like berate me and tell me I'm weak or whatever, but I wanted to, you know, if I'm the fitness coach that wants to hold you accountable and I want you to hold yourself accountable, I have to hold myself to those same standards. So I chose to do that and admit that I had slipped up and admit that I'm starting over, and here's why I did it. And guess what? Now that I'm home, I won't be slipping up again. So that's where we're at. Friday, the whatever the hell last Friday was, the 2nd or whatever. No, 28th, 29th, whatever, was my day 1. So today is day 7 officially of 75 Hard. I'm actually doing really, really well. The personal development book I'm doing is like really making me think about, you know, the fitness business and, you know, how I want to take YouTube and how I need to step up my game a little bit. And I'll talk about that in upcoming weeks. There's still so much that has to happen between now and like Christmas for me to even, that I have to get in line before I can implement the plans that I'm trying to put in, you know, formulate in my head. So, but yeah, that's where I failed. So we are picking up and we are going with day 7 today. And I'm feeling really good. We are making one more change to what I was doing just because I did not like the way things were going on the scale. And I know the scale is not the ultimate test, the ultimate tale, but I understand where things were going and what they were doing, and I don't like what they were doing. So we're gonna make one more change I'll talk about later. I have to get Gigi ready for school. It's already 7 o'clock. We have 30 minutes till she has to be out the door, or 35 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes till she has to be out the door, and I just have to make sure she's staying on task. So that is that. And I don't know if I showed you the new addition to The Office. Aside from that, my wife found a new PlayStation game that she likes for the PS5, and it was in a living room. So she started playing it, and then I was like, you know, home from Chattanooga, I was like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, I'm not doing anything for a couple of weeks, and she's just playing her game. I'm not gonna sit here and watch her. So my wife, yes, fellas, my wife had the idea, why don't we get you another PlayStation 5 to put in your office? So now I've got a new TV and a PS5 in my office. So when my wife's out there or my daughter's out there watching TV, I can still watch TV, I can play my game, I can do what I need to do in here. So on top of that, I still have my iMac, got my MacBook, my work stuff, which I just ordered dual monitors for this one. So I'm gonna have 3 monitors plus the laptop. Dude, I might as well just start putting monitors on my damn wall, because that's basically what this is gonna turn into. Like, this whole back wall could just be like monitors for something. I don't know what. Maybe at some point, if I have enough money, I'll get 2 80-inch flat screens up on the wall for my computers, and then I'll get an 80-inch flat screen up there for my PlayStation, just because, why not? And then I'll take that TV and I'll use that as a second monitor for my editing station, because it'll look pretty friggin' badass. Anyway, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I have to get everything rolling here. I gotta eat something myself. But we'll talk about the one other change I'm making for this 75 Hard. And I know someone's gonna yell at me for it, but whatever. All right, so one of the things that the 75 Hard program really kind of forced me to get back into is doing personal development, okay? Any kind of non-fictional reading that kind of helps you grow as a person. So what I've been reading is the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and you know, it's really not like, it's not like a, hey, do these 10 times more than you were and you'll grow a business, right? But what it really focuses on is it tells you to start dreaming bigger than you normally would. Because really, you know, if you want to succeed in business or in life and relationships and whatever it is you're trying to succeed in, you can't think of like, you can't set goals for yourself that are reachable. You want to set goals that are like so far beyond reach that they almost seem impossible. And reach for those goals. You may or may not get them, right? Like one of the, you know, the chapter we read last night was about setting goals that are way too high and out of reach. And one of the goals was have $1 million, you know, have $1 million in your bank account, own a private jet, blah, 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 or, you know, and things like that. Or own a media company that has released 5 movies, 5 blockbuster movies. You know, they may not be goals that like you're like, oh man, in the next 10 years I'm never gonna get that, and you may never get those goals. But if you don't set goals that are out of your reach, are you ever going to really commit to those goals? If I say, hey, I want to read 1 book a month for 12 months, well, that's a reasonable goal. I mean, most books are 300 to 500 pages. You can knock that out in 30 days or less easily, especially if it's a good book. But if you sat there and said, I want to read 1 book a week for a whole year, well, now you're talking 52 books as opposed to 12 books. Is that a little bit more attainable? Because some books are going to take longer than a week. Some books might get done in a couple days. Things like that. I want to write a music album in the next 4 months, or I want to have a top 10 Billboard single. You may not do that, but if you sit there and say, I just want to release a song on Spotify or on Apple Music, yeah, anybody can do that. I have friends, I literally have friends that have music on Apple Music. Doesn't mean they're top 10 Billboard artists, you know what I'm saying? So this really has me reevaluating the goals that I've set for myself, and now how I'm going to take all this momentum that I'm gathering up now, and I'm going to use it pushing into 2023. So I'm like starting the goal setting process now, and I'm starting to evaluate what I want to do with my life over the next 12 months, or even till the end of 23. And I really want to set those goals to be like, oh shit, I may not get that. Like, I want to own a vacation house in Colorado, right? So I can go snowboarding anytime I want. I want to own a beach house in Key West, so I can go down there whenever I want to. I want to have a house in south of France, right? So I can go there anytime I want. Like things like that. Like, those aren't my actual goal. The Colorado thing might be a goal, but not the other ones. But you get what I'm saying. You know, I want to have a business that generates $100,000 a month. You know, things that might be a goal for me. Maybe not for the end of 23, but it might be a goal for the end of, you know, 28, 29. But if I don't set it, there's no way I'm ever going to reach it. So I like this book. It's really got me thinking about my future. 10X Rule, Grant Cardone. It's not as paid advertisement. Grant Cardone does not pay me to advertise his book. But if he does want to, by all means, bro, cut me a check. We'll do something. Not like he's ever going to see this video. So you know what? Let's make the thumbnail right now. Okay, so that's going to be my thumbnail. And that's what I'm going to use, even though I was going to pout earlier in this video. But yeah, so that's my personal development for the next however long. I have a couple other books ready to go for when this is done. I'm not quite halfway through with this book, but I'm really looking forward to the next couple books. I'm going to go, and I'll talk to you guys later about... I'll talk to you guys later about the Sit. Stay. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later about that one change I'm making. Look at these pathetic souls. You guys wanna go out? You wanna go out? It's gorgeous outside. Alright, so I forgot to let you guys know that today I was going for a run. I decided last minute to go for a run. So I did. So I have to go pick up G. Let me change clothes, get in the car to go get her from school. It's really dark right here. So yeah, let me change clothes real quick, getting something dry. I'm gonna get in the car, head down to school. When I get to school, we'll go over today's run. And then when I get back, I'll talk about the one change that I'm making on my meal plan or my supplement plan from last week. All right, so we're in the car now. There we go. And as always, I'll put the run here. Today's run was supposed to be, it's a 45-minute outdoor workout. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit and test myself and just kind of run instead of worrying about zone 2. Overall, I ended up in zone 2 anyways because this one kicked my ass. I started way too fast. Anyway, overall, I did a 5-mile run, 48:28 time at an average of 9:42 per mile. Again, zone 2 overall, but if you switch it over to my my laps, first mile was 8:41, second mile was 8:44, and that's kind of where I ran out of gas. That's when I had to start, slowing it down, and then the walking started, because let's just face it, guys, I am not built for speed anymore. I am built for distance. I can run. If I would have started running slower, I would have been able to do this a lot better, but starting fast was just not the right thing to do. But at this point, I don't have a training goal right now. I don't start training for another couple weeks, so I said, why not? My fastest pace at one point was 7:27, so I mean, I was up there. I had run a couple. I looked at my watch, saw a couple 8:05s. Nothing special. My average 9:42 though, so not a bad run. Again, I'm not training yet for any running races just at the moment. That doesn't start for another week or two. So for now, that is that. I'm gonna pick Gigi up, and we will talk about the one change I'm making so far, and you guys can yell at me in the comments when you hear me say it. So I'll see you at home. Hi, Boots. Hi, guys. I just said hi. Apparently I share an office with these guys now, so bless you. So real quick, and I'll end the video after this clip. I wanted to talk about the one supplement change that I'm making to my routine, and I know somebody's going to yell at me for it and whatever. It is what it is. So the one supplement change I am making is I'm removing the creatine from my routine for right now. I know what you're going to say, but I weigh in every day to make sure that I'm trending in the right direction. I understand fluctuation is going to happen, but when I'm going straight up this way, the wrong direction, steadily for 4 days straight, I tend to get a little nervous. So I'm taking the creatine out. Now I know someone's going to say, Rob, you're still in the saturation phase. Your muscles aren't saturated with the creatine, the water and stuff like that. I'm like, I get that, but I'm not trying to bulk up. I'm not trying to get those fuller, rounder muscles. I'm trying to lean out and, get that lean runner's type, traditional runner's physique. And I may not get the traditional whatever, but I want to lean out and get rid of as much body fat as possible. But when you're seeing the scale go up and the body fat go up, even though you're seeing your waist go down and, some other things go down, your pictures are showing you going down, it's still kind of like disheartening, like, why am I doing all this work if the numbers that I need to see aren't going the right direction? So just for now, until I hit my goal weight, once I get down to where I want to be, so maybe after the half marathon in February. And I don't know if I talked about those details yet, but I'll do that next episode. I'm taking it out until I hit my goal weight, probably after the half marathon in February, and then depending on how I feel, we'll put it back in, because I still have another 12 to 16 weeks of training between now and, between then and summer. And with all the changes, this summer coming, we talk about that in a couple weeks too. I don't want to go too deep outside of where I can't maintain. I don't want to spend money that I don't need to spend, because we are saving a lot of money for the summer. So, I mean, it's just kind of like a weird situation. We did this years ago, and everybody was giving me shit for it, but we kind of kept what we were doing private until it was time to announce it. And then everybody was like, oh, sorry, my bad, So just know there's something coming. We're going to announce it. We've announced it on social media a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago. I didn't do it here yet, though, because I wanted to make a video. And trust me, the video's coming in a couple weeks. and then it'll all make sense what I keep talking about. For now, this is where we're at. I'm taking the creatine out. I am still using protein powder, my Shakeology, my Energize for pre-workout, and then I'm just kind of making sure that I'm eating close to my range of calories. I haven't really been tracking protein, carbs, and fat, stuff like that. I'm just kind of eating when I'm hungry, and depending on how the scale goes, the scale goes. So it is what it is. I'm not mad. Kind of relieved that we figured it out early instead of like, going 6 weeks in and going, what the hell's the problem? Why am I not doing this? But because I'm very susceptible to water weight gain and holding on to it, I just didn't want to do it right now. So we'll come back to the creatine when the time comes, when I'm a little bit where I'm not even looking at the scale, and we'll go from there. So with that, guys, give it a like, thumbs up, give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Comment below with with anything you want to see during this off season. What part of my off season do you really want me to focus on, or maybe touch up on? I'll make videos that you guys want. If you guys want specifics, want to know a little bit more about X or Y or Z, whatever. But yeah, this is just free content. I'm freely making things. There's no specific goal in mind just yet. We don't start half marathon training for a couple weeks. We don't start anything beyond that. I have plans, but they're not solidified yet. So it's off season. So I'm going to end this video now. The rest of my night is going to be either spent watching YouTube, watching TV with my wife, or playing video games. And you really don't need to see that, do you? So I'm going to end this. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I post, and comment below anything you want to see. I'll see you in the next video.